Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of the In the Black Quant VTF here, T3 Live, and back from Boca, sunny Florida, where we had a great time. And I just wanted to do a little recap for you after what we talked about, and then what happened. So when I first got down there, everybody's going. Friday was Nasdaq. Hey, Nasdaq's puking. Rob, what's going on? I'm like, well, when we talked about time frame continuity, all right. When the Nasdaq got hit, it was down on the month, it was down on the week, it's down on the day, and down on the 60. Right? That's full time frame continuity to the downside. That would alert you that she's going down. But I didn't speak yet. That was on Friday, so you wouldn't have known that until I spoke. So anyway, then we had XLF, because I was like, what about XLF? XLF, monthly. Is it inside month and up? Did I talk about inside bars? I did. Inside month to the upside. Did I talk about one group triggering another group? I did. The weekly, RevStrat week here, and that was a Friday. Did I talk about the part of the chart that most people never look at? The bottom. When is this occurring? Does that matter? You bet it does. Right here. Full time frame continuity to the upside on that Friday. It also had the RevStrat triggering the inside bar, combination there. It's also a Friday, right? Do we want to know about that? We do. Did I say we trade anything and we want to look to maximize depending on what vehicle we want to use? I did. 24, is that a strike price? It is. So instead of buying this here at 24, full time frame continuity with multiple actionable signals to the upside, you take those options up here. Instead of taking 30 cents, you're making 200 or 300% like that. But you wouldn't have known that because I didn't speak yet. What I did say when I started, I said, once you understand this stuff, that there is a myriad of setups every day, so much that we can't get to it all. I also said it's impossible to trade out of the realm of the three universal truths of price action. These principles, it's impossible. It can't not do that. So let's get to Boca. All right, so you couldn't have known that just yet because you didn't hear me speak. So one of the things, if we look at the U-Pro, because SPY had a dividend last week, what did I say in Boca? Did I say that we want to avoid things that are trading inside bars on a longer-term time frame? I did. S&P an inside week last week? It was. Did you want to trade that? No. How about the small cap? Russell. Was that an inside week last week? It was. Would you want to trade that? No. How about NASDAQ? Qs. Problem here was up into here, when it came up into that, month still down. So what did it do? It spent most of the week in conflict. Is that something we'd probably want to trade? No. But if we look at the Dow Jones, did I talk about momentum hammers? I did. Is this a monthly momentum hammer? It is. You're like, why didn't you tell us that, Rob? It's like I just used a generic one when I was there. I did in the weekend video and every nightly video that I made this week. Momentum hammer to the upside. Do I talk about that? Doesn't necessarily mean we want to trade the Dow Jones diamonds or futures. It means we want to go look at the Dow. I did. Let's take a look. What's in there? Triple M opening on the lows of the month. Full time frame continuity to the upside. Is this almost the exact chart that I brought up there? It is. Momentum hammer, full time frame continuity to the upside and in the Dow Jones. How about Boeing? Is that in the Dow? It is. What do we know about Boeing? First of all, are groups going to trigger other groups? They are. Let's take a look. Inside bar countered with hammer RevStrat, 1, 2, 3, off to the races. What do we know about the monthly? Monthly, inside bar countered with outside bar momentum hammer RevStrat. Do we want to know about, did I talk about the importance of knowing when an equilibrium is being thwarted after one side is attempted and is meeting a stronger force? I did. Then we have the multiple momentum hammer RevStrat month, triggered with the RevStrat day. Weekly participation group inside momentum hammer 1, 2, 3 going out to the highs. How about Travelers? Is that in the Dow? TRV? It is. Is it also momentum hammer to the upside? It was. Did I also talk about what we want to do is create? We want to know what things we're going to create. Because trading is like playing pool. I don't want to just hit the ball in the hole. I want to leave the cue ball with another shot. I did. Therefore, if Travelers does this, opens and comes down, goes inside 60 and back up, what would that create? Daily momentum hammer. Does that leave us another shot come Monday? It does. If we take a look at Johnson & Johnson, Did that open on the lows and have full time frame continuity to the upside last week with the Dow? It did. All right. So when we look at stuff like that, and then we talk about countering. Are there things that we know that there's going to be natural sellers in? Yes. Anything in the Dow that has full time frame continuity to the downside, we want to know about that. Nike month, bam, red, weak, was green, changed to red. Did I talk about wanting to know that? I did. Here, boom, down and puked. Is that something you want to be short? Yes. Do we know there's natural sellers in there? We do. There has to be, because it's got the futures behind the Dow Jones futures buying it while it's getting pounded. If we take a look, go back to our buddy, XLF. XLF stalls out. Is that okay? Sure, because it's still inside month to the upside. What that tells us, again, we don't have to trade the XLF because it's doing nothing. We can break it down. Is there anything in the XLF and bank realm that we would want to know about? You bet. We just stick with the inside monthers. Northern Trust. Did that go up last week? It did. Would we want to know about and a Rev Strat to boot? Would we want to know about stuff like Leg Mason? We would. Inside month and up. Bank of New York, would we want to know about that? Yes. Does it also tell us to look at other financials? It does. Did I talk about them in the daily and weekend video? I did. What else is going up in there? Based on time frame continuity? Insurance names. Aon, Allstate, Progressive, HIG, and let's not forget our buddy, Travelers. Right? It's not that hard. Did I also talk about we start at those longer term and work our way down so we know where we want to be? I did. Did I specifically mention the transports? I did. Transports Rev Strat month here to the upside. Also an outside bar fractal triangle. All right, did I explain that? I did. Triangle hit both sides. Higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, bam, off to the races. Do we want to trade the transports themselves? Well, maybe. Did we have a combination there? We did. Inside weak to the upside. Once again, do I say we would prefer the stocks because they're going to go further than the broader averages? I did. Here. Where might we be looking? Specifically, FedEx. FedEx. Is that in the transport? It is. Is it inside month to the upside after an outside bar, which means we're going for a range expansion? It does. UPS. Do we want to trade it 2 weeks ago? No. How about after it goes inside bar? Definitely. Inside monthly hammer to the upside. You betcha. All right. Now, you can say, hey, Rob, but is there anything in the transports that might be in the transportation realm that might be going the other way? There was. HA, Hawaiian Air. What happened here? Inside bar. Do we want to know when a force has attempted to take one side and is now going to the other side of an equilibrium? We do. Do we want to know when that thing goes into full time frame continuity to the downside? We do. Where did that happen? Down in here. Does that mean we want to look to short this thing? Yes. Hey, Rob, why didn't you tell us? I did. I tweet out the gap list every morning. This was on the gap list. What I said in Boca was, if you're not looking at least 4 time frames, you're doing yourself a big mistake. All you had to do is look at that gap list and be like, hey, do I see an equilibrium that's being reversed? I do. Do I see it about to go back into full time frame continuity to the downside, changing that continuity? I do. And so then you would go there. But Rob, I'm a hater. I just want things to go down. Okay, how about crude oil? Crude oil. 60 momentum shooter. Did I talk about a momentum shooter being the opposite of a hammer? I did. When this kicked in, did that go full time frame continuity to the downside? It did. Oil got pounded. Would that tell us that we would probably want to be looking at shorting oil companies? It would. Do we know on a macro basis why we would also have reason to believe that the oil stocks would go down? We did. XLE. Is this a basket of oil stocks? It is. Is it inside quarter and down? It is. Is XOP also a basket of oil stocks? It is. Is it inside quarter and down? It is. Make sure you can see it. It is. How about OIH? Is that a basket of oil service stocks? It is. Is that also inside quarter and down? It is. Think we should look at some oil stocks? I do. Let's look at XEC. XEC. Big monthly triangle. Full time frame continuity to the downside below the daily, weekly, 60 monthly openings. Do we look for an inside day? We would. Inside day to the downside. When that kicks in, full throttle downside in XEC with everything pointing to the downside. That broke 99.64. Kept puking down about $6. Did I tell you about that? I did in the daily video. How about Concho CXO? CXO monthly RevStrat inside month countered by going the other way. Two momentum shooters, also RevStrat to the downside. Full time frame continuity to the downside when this inside day kicked in. Bam. 122.85. Not bad. Comes down to about 116. If we go to EOG, also inside quarter to the downside. When this inside bar broke, bam, is going to go down, take out the triangle? Yeah. Full time frame continuity to the downside, multiple actionable signals to the downside? Yes. So then you'd say, hey, Rob, do you got any of those cool tricks where we can get some of them oil stocks that are going up? Yes. What happened in XLE? Thursday, it makes the lower low, right? So if you're short anything that's not going down yet, you're hoping that it keeps going down, right? And your stock goes down with it. When it starts rallying on Friday, you're screwed. Guess where you're screwed? You're screwed in Chevron. Here. Too strong to make a lower low on that Thursday. Inside day. Bam. Kicks back in. Full time frame continuity to the upside in Chevron. It's also an outside bar, which makes a fractal triangle. Did I say that? I did. Here it is. Right there. Full time frame continuity back to the upside. All right. So people got what they wanted. So yes, could you do that? You betcha. We also know people are going to be short against obvious pivots like the inside day and the high of that. How about Exxon? Same deal. Inside day. What else did it do on the monthly? It reversed the inside bar. Did I say that in Boca? I did. You want to know about that? You do. Tried to take it down, comes back, goes into full time frame continuity to the upside. Boom. Every reason to believe that was going to work on Friday, and it did. Are Exxon and Chevron large integrated oils? They are. You know what else they are? They're also in the Dow Jones. Okay, so do we have evidence that was going to work? We did. How about Occidental? Is that a large integrated oil? It is. You go look at Oxy. Nice move you got there against people short against obvious pivots. Here, here, and here. Destroy them. If you go to the monthly, green. Daily was bright green. All right? Now, the challenge was the weekly was still red at the time. Can we still take it? Yes, because the 60's in control. If we go to the 30, what you're going to see here is it comes up in here. It goes inside 30 up, inside 30 up again. All right? Once again, if this continues, what will it create? It will create the weekly hammer. Is that going to give us another shot? Yes, it is. When I talk about did I talk about the importance of changing that continuity? I did. You know what the weekly opening was? Here, 61.50. Do you know what the price did when it got through there and went into full time frame continuity to the upside? It spiked on the close. Very nice. I also talked about Tesla. All right? I talked about Tesla when I was down there. And I said, RevStrat year, triggered by RevStrat quarter. Let's take a look. Tesla, RevStrat quarter here. Inside bar, countered with the hammer, goes RevStrat here. Above 223.80. It's trading 371. But Rob, why didn't you tell us? I did. Look at my YouTube, Smith in the Black, all one word. Macro, December 26, 2016. I told you. What did that do? That worked. What did that trigger? The RevStrat year. Inside year, countered with hammer, above 269.34. It's trading 371. All right. So also then people were asking, be like, well, isn't some of this stuff algorithmic? Isn't all this kind of stuff? No, it's always happened this way. Price action is governed by these rules. If you go back here, this is when I was born, 1964, to the time I got out of high school, broadening formation. Did I say in Boca that horizontal lines are false and support and resistance will become over time higher and lower. I did. And you'll notice right to the tick here, up, higher high, lower low, higher high, 87 crash, boom, resolves to the upside. You'll see more stuff like that. Here's the present one that we have broken out in and are still going. So no, this is not something that is brand new and algorithmic. What I'm showing you is the nature of price action, how it really works. So basically what I just showed you is just a handful of stuff that went on last week. It would take me a month to explain to you all the setups that work on any given day. It would take me a year to show you all the setups that work in any given week. This is how often this occurs, and that's what I said. This happens so often, and if basically what I just pointed out to you is so elementary, it's trading 101. If you don't already know what I just told you, you're so far behind the game, it's ridiculous. So what we're doing, I mean, once you know this stuff, it's not a matter of what's your favorite stock. Do you got a stock pick? It's all of them. And then it's just a matter of what vehicle are we going to use? The options, the underlying common stock, or are we going to use futures? What are we going to trade it on? It's not, is it a buy or is it a sell? What I just showed you is just a handful of one on last week. So you just keep breaking it down. And when I said, do I tell you this stuff? I tweet out the gapper list in the morning. I make a video every day. I make a longer video on the weekends so you know where all this stuff is. We have a spreadsheet of it all. We have scanners, and I'm on the headset 7 hours a day. I'm going to be teaching this course coming up in July. I suggest you take it. When you know all this stuff, you can pay for that in 5 minutes after you know that stuff. But this is really important stuff. Like I said, it is impossible for price to trade outside of the realm of the three universal principles of price action. And even if the whole world knows it, it still has to work. So, had a great time in Boca. Thanks for everybody coming out, and look forward to seeing you on the VTF Monday morning.